Are you kidding me? What is going on, guys? What is going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back into another video. We have some more, heartbreaking negative news coming from the New York Giants once again. And, what pisses me off the most, that it's Friday. It's my pay. I get paid today. It's payday, and every time I get paid on Friday, well, it's been every week because I kind of been spoiling myself. But every week I'm buying sushi. Every week, every Friday is sushi night, and you interrupt my sushi night. I just got home from getting my sushi, and I come home to this garbage, this basura. How you gonna interrupt my sushi night like that, man? Deandre Baker, we have some news, and I seen a post from Giants Nation 2.0 coming out with news saying that good news that Deandre Baker is now eligible to participate in training camp. I'm like, hey, that's good news. I keep scrolling and then I see all this other garbage. So let's dive into it. We have a lot to talk about, and we're going to go into everything of what the update is and what's written down in articles and my thoughts on it from a more deep dive type of perspective of how messed up this is. This is some effed up stuff, man. I'm not going to curse on you, but this is some effed up stuff, man. And let's dive into it. So I have my article from sportsillustrated.com, si.com, and it says here, a search warrant shows evidence that New York Giants cornerback Deandre Baker and Seattle Seahawks cornerback Quinton Dunbar paid off their alleged victims on an armed robbery. And this is something that we mentioned a long time ago, back when these victims were recanting their statements. What's a huge factor in victims, what's a huge reason for victims recanting statements is bribery. Bribery is probably the number one cause. There's no way a collective amount of victims collectively recanting their statements around the same exact time, they're just all in a meeting and say, hey, we shouldn't go along with this. No, there's some bribery involved, and this is something I mentioned back when we first had this news that the victims were recanting their statements, that there had to have been some bribery involved. And we'll get into all that in just a second. We all know about what happened with Deandre Baker on May 14th and, what everything else is. So let's move on to this part of the article. It says that the search warrant was obtained by the Daily News as a public record from the Broward County, Florida Clerks of Courts. It reportedly cites evidence, including video footage and direct messages that allegedly show a witness named Dominic Johnson, who is sort of a coach figure to them, oversaw payoffs to Baker's and Dunbar's 4 victims on May 15th at the office of Michael Greco, Dunbar's attorney. Johnson allegedly wrote a series of incriminating messages on his Instagram account on May 16th. He says he has known Baker and Dunbar since they were children. All 4 victims have provided sworn statements saying they were paid off to take back their initial testimonies against Dunbar. The victims say they were paid a combined total of $55,000. Miramar Police Department Detective Mark Moretti wrote in the search warrant about direct messages between Baker and Johnson that appeared to corroborate the victims' claims of a payoff. Johnson is telling Baker to come to Dunbar's lawyer's office, Moretti writes. Baker replied, yo, I'm in the city now, getting cash, how much to bring? I'm trying to get you there, I'm trying to get it to you ASAP. The warrant claims CCTV video evidence showing the alleged payoff occur in Greco's office building. One victim says he was paid $30,000. Another victim says he was paid $20,000. And the third saying he was only paid $5,000 and gave half of that to the 4th victim. So there's a lot of things to digest here. And the reason why I almost died of laughter right there is that there is CCTV video surveillance inside the lawyer's building. You are a lawyer. One thing I will tell you right now, Quinton Dunbar should fire his lawyer. You are a lawyer. Your whole job is to get evidence for your own case. You would think if you have a case against you, you're a defense attorney. Okay, a defense attorney, your job is to make sure there is no evidence displaying any type of, guilt on your clients and on yourselves. And on yourself. The lawyer is in on it. The lawyer was in on the bribery. And he is not aware that if any type of investigation goes down, you're telling me they're not going to pull surveillance from wherever Dunbar and Baker has been? Or any of the victims? Or this Coach Johnson? One of the first places they're going to go is the damn attorney's office. Dunbar's attorney should be fired, and I guarantee you nobody's going to be coming to him for another case in quite a long time. The next thing I want to get into is the victim's payoff. One guy was paid 30 grand. Now, I imagine the guy getting paid 30 grand was the guy threatening to release this information. I really feel bad for the person that was paid 5 grand, because the person that was paid 5 grand, you think about 5 grand to 30 grand, and they're paid to keep the same damn secret. There's no difference here. They're paid to keep the same secret, and this third victim got paid $5,000, and get this, he had to split that $5,000. So $2,500 had to go between him and the fourth victim. So, damn, if I'm being honest, the third and fourth victim were probably the one that really came up, they probably snitched on this one. Because if I'm getting paid $2,500 to keep a secret, the same secret that somebody else is getting paid $30,000 and $20,000 to keep, damn, man, I'm taking that money and I'm snitching. And I'll tell you this right now, all 4 victims came out and said that they were paid, and then it was a lump sum of $55,000. That means they took the money, they took the total of $55,000 from Dunbar and Baker, and they kept the money, and then they snitched. Hey, that's some hustling right there, man. That's some hustling. That's some true hustling right there. This Johnson guy was kind of the ringleader in all this. It appears that he may be a coach. He pretty much, helped raise these guys, these 2 young men, to who they are today. And he knew them since they were kids. And he's probably like a father figure in their lives, as a lot of coaches are, and probably looking for the best interest of these kids. I don't know if he was there during the incident, but I know he was definitely involved in paying off these victims to try to keep it on the hush-hush and help these guys grow out their careers. And it's just a shame. It's just a real shame. Oh my God, it's just crazy. So, that being said, the Giants are expected to release Deandre Baker. Sources have come out and said that. Now, I expect this to happen within the next 48 hours. I think if this evidence is actually in a search warrant, that means it's most likely true. They're not just going to throw any type of assumptions out there. So, if it's in the search warrant and victims are actually coming out and showing the money that was paid off to them, they have the text messages, they have the video evidence, this is a surefire thing. Deandre Baker's career is probably done, most certainly with the Giants, but in the NFL, probably done. Quinton Dunbar, don't know anything what's going on from the Seahawks point of view, but damn, man, the audacity of Quinton Dunbar and Deandre Baker with this nonsense. And their attorney. They should be ashamed of themselves. This is the worst type of cover-up bribery I've ever seen in my life. You hold an armed robbery with multiple victims. These victims somehow recant their statements and that everything's okay, they're innocent. And then you give them the hush money. By the way, showing the evidence of the hush money on Instagram DMs, talking about where to bring the money at. How stupid can you be? And then you go to an attorney's office who is, I don't know, more than likely, I'll just give it a 95% chance that there is video surveillance in an attorney's office that you are probably seen in. I don't know. To me, you interrupted my sushi night. Did you really interrupt my sushi night? Now I'm gonna have to edit this video while eating my sushi. Therefore, just watering down just the taste of this sushi, man. I want to enjoy this sushi, man. I got 4 freaking rolls. 4 rolls! That being said, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. This is ridiculous. Deandre Baker is probably off the team. I now recant my own statements about DeAndre Baker claiming his innocence. That being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.